Hey guys, it's Lisa. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to do a eyeshadow look using a new eyeshadow palette. I know that everybody has seen this eyeshadow palette before. It's nothing majorly new. It's been out for a minute and everybody and their brother has done a video on it, but I bought it for that purpose. I wanted to review it. I wanted to own it. I wanted all those things. But of course, you guys know I had to take a break, but I'm back, and so I'm going to go ahead, along with my plans, and review the products that I had purchased. So today we're going to be using the Natasha Denona Zendo palette. And I just thought I would record the look that I'm going to do today. I'm getting ready for the day, so I thought that would be a good way to use this and get a little video using it. If you would like to see me do more looks than the one I do today, let me know. I would be more than happy to do that. But just in case you haven't seen the palette, this is what she looks like. This is the $65 palette rather than the $125 price point, which is what I like. I don't mind the smaller pans. I'll never use up a full eyeshadow palette anyway. In this palette, we have luster, I'm sorry, that's the name of the shadow. We have metallic, duochrome, chroma crystal eyeshadows. We also have her liquid to matte eyeshadows and just regular matte eyeshadows. So I'm pretty excited about that. I'm loving this color story. It kind of reminds me of the new palette from Kaleidos. These greens and these pinks is just putting me in mind of that. And I also have that to review as well. I bought the entire PR kit. So that will probably be my next video. But that's what this color scheme is giving me. That it just, I don't know, those greens and those pinks make that just pop out in my mind. But I think because I'm wearing a pink shirt today, I'm going to stay over in this area. These 6 shades maybe. I might add some of this in for contrast and depth. But I think that's where I'm going to go today with my look. So, let me prime my eyes. I already have my base on. So I'm just going to put a little Milani eyeshadow primer on. Get that patted out. Spread all over the eyeball. Let me pull yins into me. There we go. Make sure I've got something to wipe off my dirty brushes with, because they a mess, of course. And I think I'm just going to go straight in. I'm going to start out with my Refer brush. Please disregard that mess behind me. I'm going to be redoing my background. And right now, everything has just been thrown back there. So, I'm going to actually put a table back there. Or turn that bed into a table, since it's not being used but for a table. I hate to get rid of the bed because I may need it with my brother-in-law at some point. So I don't really have any place to store it. So I thought I might put a tabletop on that bed and use it as a table. I thought that was a cool idea, but I don't know. So I'm going to start out with my Refer 12 brush. You know, this is one of my favorite brushes. And I'm going to pick up Vigor, however you want to pronounce it. Tomato. And I'm going to go straight into that on my brush. And, start putting that in my crease just by stamping it. How have you guys been? Have you been excited for warm weather? Making plans for vacation? Just what's going on with everybody? What do you guys think about Coastal Scents closing just out of the blue? I didn't see that coming at all. And for them to close so abruptly, that is just crazy. I mean, they're not filling any of their orders that they have currently or anything. They're just sending refunds. Also, guys, if you missed it, the other night I was live on Instagram with Nell from It's Belle Cosmetics. Her and I done a live together, and if you missed that, you can go on the It's Belle Cosmetics Instagram page and scroll through the feed there. It should be towards the top, and see our video together. Something happened and Instagram erased the first half, but the second half is there, and it's still a good time. We had such a good time. It was a blast. We used the new Pearly Gates collection a lot, and used it in different ways than eyeshadow in that video. I mean, we show the full spectrum of that shadow and the possibility of those pigments. I mean, it's crazy. I was blown away. I think Nell was blown away. We were all mesmerized as well. It was amazing. So if you did miss that, go check that out on the It's Belle Cosmetics page. Also, to let you guys know, I did pick up some new things yesterday. And when they come in, I will be doing a first impression video on them. I picked up a new cream blush from the Makeup by Mario line. I picked up the 2 new Glowish products from Huda, as well as the Dior face powder. So I'll be doing a video on that. And I also picked up, I already have it, but I'm going to wait on the rest of the stuff. I picked up the new Fenty Bright Fix for the under eye. So that will be coming up in a video. I'm excited to try those products. I'm hoping that Fenty is very good, because I love the under eye corrector for Becca. And since they're closing, I need to find a replacement for that. So I'm hoping this could be that for me. So now that I have that placed in the crease and blended out just a little bit, I'm going to go in with my Morphe JS5. And I'm going to pick up this color called Relief. And I'm going to blend out the edges of that. In true Natasha Denona fashion, I feel like these are going on very good. Blending out. I did have to build that Vigor shade up a little bit more than I thought I would to get it to where I wanted it. I figured it would be a little bit more punchy, but it is what it is. So just let me get this blended out. And I may have to go in. I'm going to try to darken it up with this Mindful color. And I think it's one of those cream to powder formulas. Because I want a little bit more contrast with this. So let me clean this brush off here. Okay, so this is a Lavish eye shading brush, and I'm going to use it and go into Mindful, and I'm going to start stamping that on the outer corner trying to bring some depth into the look. Without having to go into a different palette, because I really don't want to do that. I don't feel like it's going to bring me the depth that I was hoping for. Now I'm going to go back into Vigor and Mindful and just stamp them back and forth. And see if that will deepen it up some more. Yeah, that seems to be working. Pretty good. Pretty good, pretty good. I think I'm going to take that. So I'm going to go back into Mindful again. Just start stamping that on the outer corner. So this is the first full-size Natasha Denona palette that I have ever owned. I have a lot of her little 5-pan palettes, but I never purchased a full size. The reason being is, unless it's something that I'm just dying to get my hands on, I'm not going to pay the $125 price point for the larger pan palette. Secondly, all of the 65-pan palettes, there's ended up being reason, or $65 pan palettes, there's ended up being a reason for me not to get them. So, like, the one that I really wanted the most was the Glam palette. But then I ended up, I've already got the large Cool Tone palette from ColourPop, as well as the small one from ColourPop. But then I ended up picking up the Melt Cosmetics Mary Jane palette. So I figured all the Cool Tone shades I needed would be in those 3 palettes. So I didn't at that time see a point anymore to try to pick up that palette. Then I thought about the Sunrise palette, but then I ended up picking up those 2 dupes from, my mind has just left the building. It's too early in the morning for me to think. I ended up picking up those 2 from, the 2 dupes for the Love palette and the Sunrise palette. Why can't I think? It's not CC Color. It is, it will come to me. It will come to me. But anyway, I ended up picking those up, and they were such good quality, I didn't see the point in going back and getting the Natasha Denona. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use Scents and Tranquil on the lid. So I'm going to start out with Scents out here and then end with Tranquil. So I'm going to pick the Scents up on that same shader brush. Excuse me. I'm going to spray that with my mixing medium. It looks like it's got a duochrome quality to it. And I am taking that up above the crease just a tad. Not a whole lot. But I do want that to show through. That blended so well. I like that. So I'm going to flip my brush over and I'm going to pick up Tranquil. And I'm going to spray it with my mixing medium as well. And I'm going to put that on the inner lid. I'm also going to work it just a tad above the crease as well. Oh, I like that. I do. So now I'm going to go back on the other side of the brush and pick up some more of that darker color called Scent. Spray my brush again. I got just a tad bit of fallout just then, if you can see. But that's been the only fallout I've gotten so far. And that was probably my fault. I don't think I packed too much on my brush. That looks so good. I like that. Okay. Dust that away. Now I'm going to flip my brush back over and pick up Tranquil. Spray it. I think that is pretty. Okay. Now I'm going to take this color stick from ColourPop, and I'm going to run that on my lower lash line. This one is just the cream color, creamy matte, Fave Things. I don't know where the, let me see where the, okay, so this one, the color is Fave Things. I'm going to run this on my lower lash line as a base. And that's a base for my eyeshadow to set on so that it doesn't just disappear on me. A primer, if you will. Okay. So now I'm going to take that Mindful and Vigor together once again on this tiny brush, and I'm going to go on the outside of the lower lash line. And I'm bringing that in a little more than halfway. Okay, like that. Now I'm going to clean that brush off, and I'm going to go in with Tranquil, and I'm going to spray that a little bit, and that's going to go on the inner part of the bottom lash line. I don't really see a shade that I want to use as my inner corner highlight. So I'm going to pull in one of my highlighters for the week. And I'm going to use my Fenty Beauty Kilowatt Foil in Sandlight or Sandcastle and Mint Mojito. And I'm going to use the Sandcastle portion. I think that will be pretty, pretty, pretty. So, yes, I think that looks good. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hop back off camera and I'm going to finish the rest of my makeup. I'm going to put on some mascara and maybe some liner and finish up my face makeup. And then I will come back and tell you my thoughts on the palette. Okay. Hey guys, I'm back. So this is the final look. I added some mascara and some blush and bronzer and highlight. The mascaras that I'm using are the Maybelline Falsies Lash Lift and the Thrives Cosmetics one. My bronzer is a bamboo bronzer from Ciate in Palm Island. She looks like that. My blush is also Ciate. It is the Marbled Light in Halo. It's such a pretty, pretty blush. And of course, my highlighter is that Fenty highlighter. And my lips, I have the BFF2 from ColourPop liner. And I have this Maybelline in Undressed Pink 075 in the center. And that is what finished up my look. So, my thoughts on the Natasha Denona palette. She is pretty, and I'm glad that I have her. I will be getting many different looks from this palette. I will say, though, and it's not Natasha's necessarily her fault or any other brand's fault, but I have been using a lot of indie shimmers lately. And once you go to using those very wet, high punchy shimmers, it's hard to go back to a lackluster shimmer. Which, I mean, there's nothing wrong with these shimmers. I mean, it makes a pretty, pretty eye. But I'm used to that, wow. I still feel like there's a place for this in the market. And there are some people that does not like punchy. And this is going to be right up their alley. Or, you know, if you have a daytime job where, you know, that punchy is not going to be really accepted that much, this is great. Or if you just sometimes like to tone it down, again, this is great. The mattes are great in here. It would be a good accompany palette to an all shimmer indie palette. And I know Natasha Denona herself is indie as well. But, I see her more mainstream indie than indie, if that makes any sense. But anyway, the palette is good. I think it's worth the $65 price point so far. You know, I just used those 4 shadows. So I will try to remember to do a better review once I have used this again and give you guys my thoughts. I'm really, really wanting to use these greens over here and mix these greens and these pinks at some point. So I will be getting some more use out of this. Let me know if you would like to see another look with this palette, or maybe a 2 looks, 1 palette video. If you would, let me know that down below. I'd be more than happy to do that for you guys. Whatever you guys want to see, I want to do. So just let me know that down below. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please come back for my next one. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already done that. Click that notification bell because that lets you know every time I upload a video. And I have a lot of content coming, guys. So thank you. And don't forget to hit that thumbs up or thumbs down. Either one. I'll accept both. And I will see you guys in my next video. Love you. God bless.